Welcome back on the channel. This is the OnePlus 13 Snapdragon 8 Elite mobile platform, 6000 mAh of battery. It's a killer phone, and in this video I'm gonna do some performance testing using 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme stress test. And the first question is, why are we doing this? Remember, I'm using right now the Xiaomi 50. This is the smallest Snapdragon 8 Elite phone with a diagonal of 6.36 inches. This thing here is huge, 6.8 inches, guys. I want to see how much power will the Snapdragon 8 Elite consume, and of course compare the end result. How are we gonna do this? Thanks to our friends from WeTest, PerfDog. You can see here FPS, CPU allocation, GPU allocation, and what is very important is also battery in mAh and also in milliwatts or watts. And as I did exactly for the Xiaomi, I'm gonna go inside the settings to the battery and then click the battery mode, and I'm gonna choose the high performance mode. Okay, so this will give me the maximum resource. Going back to the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme stress test, I'm gonna start the test right now, guys, and you'll be able to observe what is going to happen. Again, here, FPS, CPU allocation, GPU, you can see the GPU is pumping up 100%, and very important also, battery in milliwatts or in watts. Now, guys, how are we going to compare this with the Xiaomi? Now, the Xiaomi did a very good job, but eventually it died, overheated at around number 18 because it reached 51 Celsius. So I'm just curious to see how the Snapdragon 8 Elite is going to perform in a bigger body. We are starting with 31.1. So first things first, is the OnePlus 13 going to be able to do all the 20 tests with the highest performance settings? And also, if yes, how much average FPS are we gonna get? Now, I'm gonna post the results from the Xiaomi here, 27.4 average FPS, and the average power that the Snapdragon 8 Elite drew from the Xiaomi was 8.5, almost 9 watts, guys, which is really a lot. And right in the start, the Xiaomi peaked to 7104 milliwatts, which is 17 watts. So powerful is the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now, of course, this was only for a brief moment. Then eventually it started to go down. It stabilized to circa 5-8 watts, and at the end the last few rounds were done with 3 to 5 watts, and eventually at round number 18 or loop number 18 the Xiaomi displayed an overheating message. And I think that's it, guys. This phone, when it reaches 50 to 51 Celsius, this is game over. So the Xiaomi 15 is really a very powerful phone, but due to the fact that it has a smaller surface, I don't think that heat dissipation is great, and also it's no pro phone, so don't expect to get the best cooling solutions like all them vapor chamber or whatsoever. Let's see how much we're gonna get from the OnePlus 13. You'll be able to observe again the FPS, the CPU allocation, and the GPU. And for this test, guys, the GPU is really key. For the whole duration of the test with the Xiaomi 15, the GPU was utilized 100%, and this generates a lot of heat. Now here we do have a different phone, a bigger phone. Also, it's OnePlus and hopes are really high, so this is why before I start any game testing, I just want to see how much I'm gonna get from 3D Mark. So the first question is this phone going to survive? And if yes, the second question, how does it compare to the 27 average FPS and the almost 9 watts of power that it was using on an average basis? Alright, let's see what's gonna happen, and I'm also going to take some custom temps measurement to see what's going on. 44.4, so this is already not so bad, but we are in loop number 4. Let's keep going. Alright, let's check the temp in round number 11. 48.7. So far so good, because we are half to the test and the phone isn't reaching even 49. Now it's going to be also interesting the average FPS result and of course the power consumption, but we have 8 more rounds to go. So far, I do believe that the OnePlus 13 will survive this test. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And the OnePlus 13 already beat the Xiaomi 15. 49.5, guys. I would say this is really the difference. It's like 1 to 2 Celsius just because it has a bigger surface, bigger screen, so probably heat is escaping a bit better versus the Xiaomi 15. By the way, the Xiaomi 15 was completely able to finish the 3D Mark Extreme stress test without being on the performance mode, on the balanced one. So I do believe that, yeah, it's really a very tiny differences, but of course at the end we'll have to analyze the result. Right now the OnePlus 13 stably going to round number 20, and I hope that it's going to finish the test. And we're here, the OnePlus 13 absolutely nailed the test, and I can tell you it is really burning hot. Let's try to measure the temps, guys. 47.5, not so hot as the Xiaomi. The best loop score is 6,674 and the lowest loop score is 3,470. Let me just show you something for comparison, guys. I have put the Xiaomi 15 in the freezer. I tested it outside on almost 0 Celsius, and at the end I put it in freezing water with ice, and this was the best loop score that it was able to get, let's say, with the best possible cooling out there, 6,664. So the OnePlus 13 without any additional cooling provided a very good result. Now the stability rating is a bit conservative because it's only 52%, because the lowest loop score is 3,470, which means that it could have been also better. Now let's jump inside PerfDog and see the end result. So the OnePlus 13 did 25 FPS on average. The Xiaomi did 27.4, but remember it died at around number 18, so 2 loops less. What is very interesting is that when we go to the battery, we see that the Xiaomi 13 delivered this performance with using 8.5 watts, and the OnePlus 13, guys, did the same with barely touching 4 watts, 3.7 watts. I think this is just impressive. I do believe that the thermal management is very different from the Xiaomi 15 ones. Just see what happens here. If I scroll down to the temperature, you can see the G temp, right, increasing, then going down, throttling a bit, increasing, throttling down a bit, and the same graphic, but for Xiaomi looks like absolutely unhinged. Like the Xiaomi just goes into that mode to deliver the maximum performance, and it seems that it really doesn't care. At some point it might die or not. Also, something very impressive, both phones delivering a stable 100% GPU usage, as you can see here. This is the OnePlus 13, this thing here is the Xiaomi 15. But for me, the most impressive result is the average power. This is the Xiaomi 15. You see here, guys, it goes up to 17 watts. Too much, right? Then throttles down a bit, and then it goes from like 12, 11, 10, and at the end, the last 5 loops are like 3 to 4 watts. Let's see what the OnePlus 13 is doing. Picked up to 8 watts, then slowly going down. Even you see to like 4 watts, even here 3 watts. Then again, rising up to like 6, even again 7 here, slowly going down. It's a whole other different story, and I'm really lucky to have PerfDog by our friends from WeTest so that I can see those things. By the way, this is also very interesting. OnePlus 13, guys, see that one loop with very low FPS. As to the Xiaomi 15 was absolutely stable, going like a madman, absolutely taking the risk of blowing up, really doesn't care. See here, guys, throttling very slowly and a very gradual stable graph. The OnePlus 13, a very strong start, stable here, boom, a hiccup here, recovered here, boom, another hiccup here, better round, boom, a worse round. So you can see what it's doing. Honestly, guys, I think that this is better here. I don't really think that this will happen in real use case scenarios, but it could as well if you play for a few hours. This thing is better for me, but of course at the end of the day this means that, yeah, you might go to like 50, 51 Celsius, and then it's not so good. So ideally if we were able, ideally if we would have been able to get this FPS performance here with an average power of 3.7 watts, I think this is going to be the best. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to watch some of my older videos, please go and do so. Stay safe, VST over and bye.